Well, hello, my CNC brothers and sisters. Welcome to the whatever show we call it. We're waiting for a name for the show. So anyway, hey, it's Garrett with IDC Woodcraft. As you know, every Wednesday night we sit here and chew the fat CNC and talk
Yep.
about problems, answer your questions, and if we don't know, you guys usually talk on the side anyway and work it out, which is what makes this really really awesome. And next to me is my trusty sidekick, Tonto Kate.
Hello,
uh,
evening, everyone.
yeah,
Oh
so
my
we
goodness.
are here on a regular Wednesday, so to take your CNC questions and talk CNC if you want to talk CNC business or what have you, or we'll just talk about miscellaneous whatever. All right,
Whatever we got, whatever
whatever
you
we
guys are
got.
dishing out.
So as we wind up, get going here, let's see who else in on board. Kate, who do we got here?
Let's
Jack, he
see.
was here like 15 minutes beforehand. He's
Yeah,
like the
I
early
saw you
bird for
popped
the
in
show.
early. Oh my gosh. He's ready to go. Well, I don't know. Do you guys do you have a bunch of smoke right now from the Canadian fires?
Yes, yes, we do.
We do
Yeah.
too. Ours is like really thick.
hmm That
So
might be
it's
why my chest is hurting a little bit after I take my exercise walk. All right, so it's
yeah.
just been 3 miles. My chest feels a little heavy. I can't really smell the smoke in the air, but I can see it out the window. You notice I'm not in my shop today because the guy that I share the shop with, he is working late tonight. He's going to be gone next week, and so he's got to cut a bunch of picture frames, and so that noise would be in
Nice.
my background. You probably wouldn't hear it, but I would. All right, we got
Well,
Oz. Oz is here, and Tim. Tim's there, and Gary, Dion. The night's just not right without Dion around, you know?
he's back.
Dion's back. Spunky.
We got
Spunky?
Spunky Bear. He
Spunky
says
is
he
Spunky. Spunky's been here before, right?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, just
I know
ordered
he
his
was
first
last
set of
week for
bits.
sure.
Okay, he ordered a set of bits. Excited to get them. Uh,
Nice.
Yeah. And boy, he's throwing a question out already. Um, let's finish saying hello to a few. Who else we got on board? Raymond, Jones. I'm going to keep this question here. You scroll down, see who else is here.
All right, so we've got Autumn. Hi, girl. Uh, it looks like we've got Oz, Raymond Jones, Mexico City. We've got Madra. Um, oh, let's see. We've got Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn. She was on here
Oh,
last week.
yep.
Very exciting. We've got Bill's Woodworks. I believe he's back. Rick Nolan. We've got Gary.
All right.
Um, Gary Lynn. Hello, Garrett. First time in here. Welcome. Welcome.
Hey, welcome, brother.
I believe it's Nicasio. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We've got Jerry. Let's see. Wayne, Brian, Mark, Jen. Jen says sorry about the smoke. she's from she's from Ontario. Oh my gosh, girl.
Oh gosh. So I can definitely. I was talking to one of your Canadian friends, whatever. You know, they lived up somewhere up there, and I was Zoom. We were on a Zoom call, and he said that it was so hot where he was, they couldn't open their doors because go outside because they were in the densest part of the smoke, and they didn't have air
Wow.
conditioning.
Oh,
All right.
oh
So
my. I
that's
can't even imagine what that would be like.
no, no.
Oh, that's
So we got a
awful.
couple things going on over here at IDC Woodcraft. As some of you may know, I have posted in CNC Entrepreneurs and uh, then on Indeed.com and on all. As far as IDC, my personal Facebook is business Facebook too. So, but
Mhm.
I am hiring an official position for the company now. Right? We're at a point where I can't create the content I want to create. I need someone to start managing the e-commerce side of it, the making sure
Yep.
the inbound stuff is taken care of, inventory is taken care of, shipments are taken care of, shipping supplies, and you know that person's going to be spending all my money.
It's a big gig. It's a big
Yeah.
gig.
You want to talk about spending money and starting a business. This is when in business, I've talked about this that when we were mentoring, right?
Yeah.
You have to become what you want, right? If you
Oh,
want
yes.
something that you've never had, you've got to become somebody that you've never been, right? And that means you have to, when they say born again, that's one of the concepts behind it. The
Yeah.
old you has to die in certain areas in order to accept a new you,
New
right?
responsibilities, new roles.
If we cling on to old beliefs, that's the stuff that has kept us where we're at, right? Is our way of thinking. And if we want to have business success, then we have to be willing to start to let go of other things. It's not easy, right?
No.
Right? It's all
Yeah.
ingrained in us, and it's challenging, super challenging.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because this morning I spent $55,000.
That's a lot of money, my friend.
$55,000 in the company, right? But it's all for growth in the company, inventory. I've never spent this kind of money before, but if we are resistant and we're not willing to take risks, right? Then we'll never achieve what we want, right?
Yeah.
And the risk is when they say that you have to be willing to do what you're afraid to do.
You
It's
have
that
to
one
almost
thing.
let go and just like embrace the fall.
Yeah, fall forward. Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
It's at least you're falling forward, but it's kind of like when you want to go do something and you're afraid to do it. Right. It's like many people who get into CNC, they spend a year or two looking at these things because they've already done enough research. They're just afraid to push the button because deep inside, a lot of times I've seen this, they don't necessarily trust themselves. Right. And that's a risk, right? We have to
Yeah.
just say, screw this, go for the risk. Go out and get your 150, get your long mill, get your Phantom CNC, right?
Yep.
You just got to go. It's like Monza. You remember Monza was on here last week and I was all
Yep.
excited going, yeah, Monza's here. That's the guy that took the dive off the high dive, went for the big boy. And he's still being
Yeah.
challenged with it, but he's working
I
it.
can imagine.
Yeah.
My gosh, big
So,
CNC like that'll
right.
definitely push you to new heights.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, when I'm pushing money like that's an indicator that there needs to be other people in positions
Yeah.
in the company. All
You
right.
need
So
a
I'm
team
looking for
of
administrative coordinator. I need another general person to do some other general work. It's not all full time yet, but this coordinator position will be almost full time. Right.
yeah.
And yeah.
It's a
So
big gig.
yeah. Shit. 2.5 years ago, I had a little dinky wood machine out in my living room with no furniture and sawdust everywhere. Look at this now. And it's all
I know.
because of the CNC brothers and sisters here, right? I mean, nothing happens without them.
Yep. And that's where it's at. It's all about giving back to the community, and I think that is such a vital part of growing a business. You just have to be putting one foot in front of the other. And like you have told me so many times, if you're in business to make a dollar, you're not really going to make that dollar. You have to be
Mhm.
in it for the passion and the willingness to want to help people and to be there for other people and to give back, because what you put out into the world is going to come back to you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was having a very nice walk with a friend last night, and she was asking about that. She said, "You give value first, don't you?" I said, absolutely, yeah, yeah. If you don't
Yeah.
give value, right? If you don't give value first,
Hmm.
the, the way of business is you give value, and the byproduct of giving that value and solving a problem is income.
Yeah. Well, it was like
So,
you said for so many times. I don't know why this one point is so prevalent in my mind, but you said it's like when you watch a YouTube video and they say, go like my video, go subscribe right up front. And you're like, okay, well, you didn't give me any value. You didn't give
mhm,
me anything to want to like your video or to subscribe to your channel. So you always ask for that later in the video after you have provided that value to them. So
yeah,
then that way they're more apt to want to hit that subscribe button or hit that like button. And then not only do that, but also follow along and be invested in your journey as well.
right.
So adding value is extremely important.
Yes, yeah, it's what there's not a successful person out there that hasn't spent a ton of time giving value before they ever saw a greenback, right? It's really okay. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things IDC Woodcraft is hiring. So this is an on-site position primarily, right? So the other thing is the beast is getting released in just 3 days, right? Friday
Yeah.
morning, I'm going to set the inventory on
Oh
the
boy.
website from 0 to 1,000. People have asked if they could get more than one. Yeah, so yeah, they can get as many as they want. All right, I put up a set for 2. Also, when it goes live,
Yeah.
I'm going to have a set of a beast and a hog too.
Oh, okay. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. People have asked me what's the difference between the beast and the hog. So they're both the same bit, all right? They're both roughing bits, very aggressive. They're meant to remove a lot of material. They don't leave pretty cuts. They're not supposed to. They're just there to clean out that material out of pocket, like pulls and what have you, and spare
Yeah.
your clean cutting bits for the final cuts.
Right.
And the primary difference is the length of the bit. All right, the beast is shorter, so it's a stiffer bit. All right,
Yes.
it doesn't flex as much. The hog is longer, it can get deeper. So it's just another one of
Yep.
those things where you should have 2 in your arsenal. Now, I want to be clear on this. I'm going to set the website to 1,000 units, which is what I have in stock. Those who are on the CNC insiders list will have been getting emails. They are very aware of this. They are going to get an email on Friday morning when I set it to 1,000. And they have a discount code already. I've been
Yep.
sending the email, and I'm going to send an you got the discount code too. You got
I
the
do.
email, right?
I do. Yes.
And Friday morning about 9 o'clock, I'm going to send out that email. It will have the discount code in it again. So if you are not on the CNC Entrepreneurs and you want to get hold of the Beast CNC router bit, get on the CNC Insiders. Entrepreneurs is a Facebook
Yes.
group.
Yeah.
Insiders, yeah, the CNC Insiders is my email list. And those who are on there get some special deals. Like when I release a bit, they get first grabs at it. Sometimes I don't even tell the public, but this time the public's going to know. But they get the
Okay.
discount, 15% discount. Right, the public
That's pretty
knows by
good.
virtue of what we're doing right here. And
Yeah.
so there's a link in Facebook. If you're watching Facebook, right up there in the description, there's a link to get on CNC Insiders. This is your last chance. If you're on
Yeah.
YouTube, down below, there's the description section, and there's a link there. Also, if you are working with Vectric, let's get all this out of the way.
Yeah.
If you are working with Vectric and you're stuck, Kate does one-on-ones.
I
Right?
do.
She will help you. Yep. So
Yep.
again, you can get an hour, schedule an hour with her, and she'll walk you through what are the problems you're stuck on, or give you a little training.
Yep.
Those links are in the descriptions as well.
Yep.
And what else? Your YouTube, your
Facebook
YouTube
group.
channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel. Thank you so much to everyone who helped me
Boy.
reach my 700 subscribers last night. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was so excited to just bridge that gap. So my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers because that is when you can start monetizing your YouTube channel, which is awesome for me as a small business because it just helps me get my name out there and helps me grow as a business.
Right.
So last week you guys were awesome. If there's anybody that hasn't joined that, I would greatly appreciate a like or a subscription. But first, go watch a video so you can get some value added to your CNC journey. And then if you feel that way, I would appreciate the subscribe.
Right.
So yeah, and then we have my Facebook group, which is Women Who CNC. It is it is strictly for women. Sorry, fellas, but it's a wonderful group of women who we just speak a different language when CNCing, and it's really fantastic. It's growing, and the community is really stepping up to help all of our new and seasoned CNCers. So it's a fantastic group. If you are on Facebook, go join that group. Like Garrett said, it's in the links above. And
YouTube, it's down below.
yeah. YouTube, Facebook. Who's making the sign? Somebody's got that in the works, right? We're supposed to have like this little like fan sign. YouTube,
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
yeah. Somebody send
We
that.
need like a little stop sign that says Facebook up, YouTube down.
Yeah.
Like a little handle, like "Hello, I'm present. I've arrived."
All right. Okay, let's pop into some questions here. Spunky. Let's
Yes.
see. So I just thought it was a question, but where could you get patterns for kitchen utensils? Is that something that's available through either one of you? So I don't sell patterns for kitchen utensils, but who is it? Moose, the Moose, or what?
So it's actually Two Moose Design. They are on Etsy and they're also on YouTube. It's Jeff and Jess. It's Jef and then Jess, J-E. I think it's one S or two. I can't remember. Anyway, they're really popular on YouTube. They have a Onefinity CNC machine. So if you see them, that will probably start to ring some bells. But they have some spoons. I believe he's got some bowls, some things like that. So you can definitely check him out.
Yeah, Two Moose Designs.
You got
Yeah,
it.
they have a YouTube channel too. Now they don't really walk through how to, but they just kind of show you the patterns that they have, and they show the machine cutting out and what bits they use.
You gotcha.
So yeah,
You
so
gotcha. You
there
gotcha.
you go. Two Moose Designs, Etsy,
Yep.
and
Oh,
okay.
let's see.
IDC Woodcraft bits are amazing. That was from Tim. Thank you, Tim. I do pay attention to what we have. I work with those designs.
I see so many people from all over. It's amazing to see you guys are just like
Texas, Ohio.
spread so wide.
Yeah, Gary Land. He said his first time's here. You already said that. From Oviedo? Where's Oviedo?
I don't know. I'll have to Google it.
Yeah.
We'll have to see where that is. So I see GP Holmes. He said, "Where are you located?" We are actually here in Indiana.
Yeah. Gene's here too. Yeah,
I'm about 30 minutes southeast of Indianapolis, and Garrett's in Madison, Indiana, which is a little bit more towards the bottom of the state.
Yep. Madison this weekend is going to be so much fun. They're having the speedboat regatta, which is like the NASCAR of boat racing.
Really?
Right here, 2 blocks down from me.
Oh my gosh.
And they have all
That's
the festivities.
so fun.
Oh yeah.
When is it?
This weekend.
Well, I mean, is it like Friday, Saturday, all
So
weekend?
it's Saturday. So Friday when they have so Madison's not this big town, right? It's
No,
it's this
tiny.
nice little historic town.
Yeah.
I'm telling you a story. It's 2.5 years ago, I lived here, and then the first 4th of July after about just under a year. And
Yeah.
I'm going to get my grandkids to bring them back. And as I'm leaving early on a Friday, and I'm noticing people are putting chairs along the street, going, oh, they're going to have a parade. My mind is this little rinky dink 15, 20-minute parade. No, the parade's like 3 hours long. I mean,
my
it
God.
is insane. All the racing boats are coming down, tons of fire trucks. Yeah, if you want to enjoy a nice weekend, come on down here, and there's food, and I'll be with my grandkids, but you can always.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, so some of you know, my son is in the military. He's in the Army. He's stationed in Hawaii, and his girlfriend is stationed in Washington State. And she actually just finished her stint with her 4-year term in the Army. And so they are both coming here. They'll be here Saturday morning at like 5:30 in the morning. And so I'm super, super excited that they'll be here, but they're going to be here for about 10 days. And so I was thinking that would be so fun to go and do something like that. Just because you always want to make the most of their time. I think we're going to go to Kings Island, one day, and maybe go to the zoo and just hang out and do all kinds of fun stuff. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. So Kate
I'm
may
excited.
not be here next week.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. And
I'll
Bill
plan
said
to
it's
be here.
Yeah. Bill Williams says it's 109 where he's at.
Oh my
And of course, he
God.
does me that nice little deal with the cactus. He always throws me some cactus.
109. Lord have mercy. That's like, oof. That's unimaginable.
Alabama. Wow. Everybody's announcing where they're from. All right. Let's scrolling through, try to get some questions. Gary Lane finally got the IDC database loaded. Yes. Okay. So from Gary Lynn, right? The IDC tool database. If you have the Vectric software, Carbide Create, Fusion 360, or Carveco, you can go to the IDC Woodcraft website and download. You can download right here. That's the database downloads.
Yep.
Okay. And you got the the router bit database for every router bit in the IDC Woodcraft store. Okay.
Yes.
So you can use them for other router bits of the same size. Oh yeah, I had a picture. Here's the beast, right? So this is what the website's showing right now. You got the
Yep.
2-piece set right there, and you got the single unit. There's the hog. There's the long router bits right there. And then
Those are nice.
Yeah. And then Friday there will be another one here that has the beast and the hog.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Look out, IDC Woodcraft.
So yeah, so if you're using any
Coming
of the
for you.
software, you can upload the database from IDC Woodcraft. You'll have everything populated.
I love what Gary says. He says, "Watch out, world! I'm on the loose." Yes, because it is such a game changer. It really is. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's so helpful. It's not even funny. I love it. Once I downloaded it, I was like, I think my world just got like exponentially easier.
Yeah,
Because
it saves you all the time from entering all those bits.
Yeah, because literally, who in their right mind in the beginning of CNC, like as if you don't have enough stuff to do, try to calculate speed, feed, chip load, and everything else. Like, I seriously remember sitting right here at this very spot as a new CNCer watching YouTube videos with like my pad and paper, like furiously writing like a crazy person, like, okay, how did they figure out chip load again? And like, I had no idea what I was doing. And then I think you told me about this database and I was like, I'm sorry, what? It was like a magic blanket. You had just gone, like, uncovered my eyes. And I was like, ah.
Yeah.
So
when it comes
anybody
to CNC
new,
routers,
go get it.
Yeah, if you hear the term chip load, CNC brothers and sisters, listen to me. If you hear the term chip load, get it out of your head. This matters in metalworking.
Yep.
Far, far more than it matters in woodworking. So don't even try to don't just drop it. You got the databases. Also,
Yeah.
the IDC Woodcraft app, phone app, right?
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff out there, don't I?
You do. You do. We got a lot. We got all the things.
Yeah.
We have all the things.
Yes, we do. Okay, questions.
All right. Let's see. Dion at 809.
Brian's neighbor with Bridget. Okay, Dion, 809.
Yep. I'm hemorrhaging money and starting the CNC laser company. Getting close to start selling.
Selling
Good
projects.
for you.
I hope that's what you mean.
Yes, that's what I read that first and I was like, ooh, I hope he's not looking to sell.
Yeah.
But
there was, well, go ahead, finish up.
no, I was just going to say that's fantastic. It is.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of expense that goes out the door, so I totally understand.
Now there was a comment before someone said you got to spend money to make money. There's a fallacy in that belief that we've been told, right? Is because we all have a skill. We all have some value we can give to somebody and to a group of people. And we have so many free resources today. We have a cell phone. Did you know every video that I have made is either with my cell phone? Every single ounce of footage of video, if you want to call it footage, has been with my cell phone.
Yep. And I remember you telling me that in the very beginning. I was like, so what kind of camera do you use for your YouTube videos and like to get the zoom in features? And you were like, my cell phone. I was like, what? It's not even like he doesn't even have like the super fancy iPhone with 4 cameras or something nuts. It's just like a standard iPhone.
This phone has done every video that I've ever done.
Yep. There you go, folks. You heard it here first.
A screen recorder. So,
don't need all the fancy stuff.
YouTube is free. Instagram is free. What we have to be is diligent. We have to be consistent. We have to know the message that we're sending out there. And we have to know who's receiving it. We have to know why they would want to watch you, and you have to speak to that, right? And you can do that free all day long, and eventually they'll start coming to you, right? And
Yep.
then you got to start doing something. All right. What do we got?
All right. Let's see.
What
Carolyn.
time? Yeah, she's wondering what time I'm releasing the beast.
Yep.
So roughly about 9 o'clock, you will get an email if you're
Yep.
on the list. I think Carolyn's on the list.
And we are Eastern Standard Time, Carolyn.
Eastern
So,
Standard Time. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So if you're in Hawaii, you're gonna have to wake up at 3 a.m, sister.
Oh gosh. Oh, that'd be brutal. I see. I want to scoot back up just a second to Bridget Neighbor at 8:06.
Hi, Bridget.
Yes. Hey, Bridget.
Make sure you sign up to Women Who CNC
Mhm.
Facebook group. There's a link up above or down below, depending on whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. It's a women's only CNC group run by Kate.
Yes. All right. Good evening, Garrett and Kate. You two are great learning. You two are great learning some good things from you two. I'm Brian Neighbor's wife, Bridget, learning CNC as well. Well, welcome. I'm glad to have you both on board with us. That's fantastic. I love couples that CNC together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it's
That's the
really,
one thing I've missed in my years recently, not having
yeah.
someone to share it with.
I actually just did a one-on-one earlier this week with a couple. It was the husband and wife, and she does all of the design work and everything else. And then he comes in and does all the tool paths and then does the machine. And then they both work together to make the project come alive with painting and all kinds of cool stuff. So it was very neat. It was very, very, very cool to see them working together. I think
Yeah. I think that's
it's really cool.
that's something that bonds a marriage together.
Yeah.
We've had a couple people ask along the way about that.
What's that?
Yeah, during these live sessions, a couple of people would once in a while, how can I get my wife involved and what
Oh,
have you?
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic. All right. Let's see.
Okay. Can I speak on the two measuring tools in VCarve Pro? Measuring tools. How often do you use the measuring tools, Kate?
I use them quite frequently. I get a little frustrated with them because I'm not sure if I know all the little tricks to make them just work. I use it quite frequently though, especially when I was making those really crazy fire dancers. Sometimes I would make a dumb mistake and I don't know, the machine would go back to a different space and I'm like, crap, how am I going to figure out how to get it to go over here and around here? So, I had to measure every single little thing to get it to go just right. I was putting my hair out, but
all right. There's multiple ways to work with measurements. I don't use them all, but I can kind of scratch my way through as we move along so that we'll pull it up. I got to launch another Vectric to make that happen.
Yeah.
And we'll try to walk through that. So I guess got to wait for it to launch.
I personally really like the rulers that you can pull down from the very top or pull over from the side, especially when you're working with any type of lettering. Because I see a lot of people, they'll do V-carves and then their bottom of their letters are a little bit raised or they're, just up and you can tell they're a little bit off. And so when you just grab the top of your screen and pull it down, there's rulers, and those are fantastic for making sure your letters are symmetrical.
I'll pull that in. All right. Can you see my screen?
I can, yes.
Okay. All right. So first of all, what Kate was talking about with these lines that you can pull down. Up top, we have the scale, and to the left, we have the scale. And it'll be either in inches or millimeters, whatever you're set on when you set up your job. Now, the one thing with the scale, it changes as you scroll in and out. And by the way, some people don't know how I'm doing this. They don't know how I'm doing that, right? And those, if you really want to have a mouse, a keyboard mouse, a little thing that you move around the side of the computer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't have that. And you really want to have that. Now, back to the original thing, I have a video that talks about the measuring tools and how you can make things exact. So Kate was talking about pulling out the little lines. So what you'll do is you'll put your cursor either in the horizontal at the top or the vertical on the side, you hold your left mouse button down and drag it out, and we have just made a construction line. And we can do that to the left as well. And we have made another construction line. And you can do another one and another one and another one. You can do it all day long.
Yeah, you can.
But you also can grab it and move it. If you right click it, you'll get a menu, right? And we can position this construction line exactly where we want it. So right now it's at 2.75 inches above our 0 line. So I can change that to 2 and click the apply button. And now that construction line has moved. All right. And then we can change the angle of the construction line. I'll change it to 30 degrees and apply. And now the construction line has rotated.
Yep.
Right. So you can position these construction lines, and you can change the angles as you want. It's also got a slider so we can change that around, but we always have to apply after we make the change. Down at the bottom, you have absolute position. It's create a new parallel line. And then you have absolute position and relative position. Whenever you see absolute and relative, do you know what those mean, Kate? The differences?
I do, but it's not coming to my brain at the moment.
Okay. So absolute is from your absolute 0. So our absolute 0 is right now, our 0 reference line is along the bottom of the project. We have made the lower left corner our X and 0 or XY 0 point, right? If we have clicked on absolute, it's going to reference, we're going to create a parallel line, but it's going to reference this 0 point here. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to say position offset of 1 while we're clicked on absolute, and we're going to create the new guideline. Click it, and now there's a new guideline right here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, if we switch this to relative, it is still working off of this guideline right there. And I say 1 now is going to put a new line up above. And if I click the create new line, and it was it's referencing this one right here. It's referencing the last one that I put in.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of a delay, and the screen is blinking pretty aggressively.
I'm sorry. This is something I don't know how to work around that. But anyway, so that's one thing you can do. That's what Kate was talking about. And if you want to get rid of your construction lines, you just drag them back out.
Yeah. The really neat thing I want a few people to notice, or not a few, for anyone, is if you have things that you're trying to put into rows, this is a really great way to do that. Just remember, like Garrett said, right click on those lines and then that menu will come up. But if you're trying to put things into row and make sure that they're spaced evenly. So I have someone I know designs airplane, what do you call those? Where all the knobs and everything are. The instrument panel.
Yeah.
So this would be a really great way to layer out, all of the little, if you've got a row of knobs, you need them all to be exactly, 2 inches above the, dead center, 2 inches above the last row, or whatever the buttons are on the instrument panel. You can go in and really get very specific with this.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So
dimension. Let's talk a little bit more about dimension. So can you see the line that I have made?
Yes.
Okay. So I've made a line. And so we've got a couple dimensioning tools. First of all, we got this one under edit objects. Okay. And so measure distance, area, length, etc. This is going to give us the information about the between 2 points or a circle or something like that. Let's draw a circle. I'm going to close that. We're going to click that. And now I'm sorry about the flashing, but this is what we got to deal with.
Yeah, it's not too bad right now.
Yep. But I can click the end point of the line while I'm in that, and then I can click the other end point. And now up in the distance area, it's going to give me some information. So that line right now is 4.5 inches long. Let's see if I click it. Now I can start, it automatically starts over. So I can click that endpoint, and then I'll click this lower endpoint. And now the distance between those 2 points is 4.846 inches, and it's at an angle of minus 21 degrees from the left corner down to the right point there. And then it's giving me an X distance and a Y distance. So it's giving us the X and Y distance as opposed to the hypotenuse. So the direct measure is the hypotenuse length. So that's one of the ways you can measure those items. You have information down along the bottom too that most of us don't use, way down at the bottom. So as my mouse is moving around, the numbers are changing here. It's just telling me the position of my mouse. It's their best effort to look like Fusion or AutoCAD, right? Engineering design programs.
Yeah.
All right, so there's another measuring tool, which is up in Create Vectors. It's down at the bottom right next to your Trace Bitmap tool. Okay, and you hover over it, it says Dimension, Add Dimensions. And when you click that, you click the kind of dimension that you want. You have multiple selections in here. So we want to pick, we'll do a length dimension. So we're going to click the 1 point on this line and the other point on the line. And now it's going to give us create a dimension line in the software. And we can place that dimension line wherever we want. And I think you can change these numbers for there's some things you can change, like that little gap right there. But I'm not, I've never gone to this point where I needed to do that. There is an arc dimension. There's angle dimension. I'm trying to find the one that's going to give us the diameter. But anyway, so in there, if you kind of play with it, just think of it that each one of these are giving you various dimension lines. If we wanted an angled dimension line between the two endpoints of that line, we can't do it with a length dimension. We have to, or the vertical dimension, we have to do it with, I think it's a horizontal direction. Nope, wrong one.
The arc will give you a diameter.
Arc. I don't want a diameter. Yeah, I don't want a diameter, but there you go. I can get diameter that way. What I'm looking for is the distance. It's like the hypotenuse length. Create a, it's just the length distance. All right, so
there's a lot of measuring tools.
Yeah, there's quite a few measuring tools in there, so you can try to do like kind of engineering kind of stuff with this thing. So that's kind of a rough rundown of that.
Yeah, software can give you a lot of information.
Yes, it can.
All right.
It's not the best for engineers. It's not optimal. Right? The tools aren't optimized for like the engineering level. Vectric is more of a fun, fluffy, let's do some cool designs kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. All right. So we have a lot of comments coming in. So I want to make sure we stay up to snuff with them. So we've got back at 8:12. This is just kind of a fun comment. It's from Steve. It says, evening, Kate and Garrett. I wanted to thank you, Garrett. A year ago, I was researching CNC machines and came upon your video of the long mill MK2. My wife and I pulled the trigger and purchased one.
Yay!
Very cool.
Yeah, very congratulations. Cool. You took the plunge, my friend. Yes.
Yes. He says, the learning curve hasn't always been easy, but it's been fun. My wife's side hustle of craft kits is thriving. I just got an email that my new spindle is on the way. Keep doing what you're doing. Yes, two big things happening. I love craft kits. Kits are a huge thing. I did the DIY sign kit, so I know exactly what she's getting into. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Right. So I got mad respect for your wife because I know what she's going through to get all that done. So
Yeah. Well, I'm glad my videos helped you, gave you the confidence to go for it, some guidance. And now you and your wife are doing stuff together. I so cherish when I see that. Right?
yes.
We were just talking about that, right? It's
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
so cherish when I see people, and I got to tell you, I'm kind of jealous. All right, I envy
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's a special bond. Everybody always anybody that knows my husband and I, they kind of chuckle because they're like, you guys are just like the dynamic duo that can literally do anything. So like people walk in our house and like, oh, we really like that coffee table. We're like, thanks, we made it. They're like, I like these end tables. Thanks, we made them. Or they go to the basement and they're like, wow, did you guys do it? I'm like, yeah, we did that. Yeah, we built that. So yeah, it's just something like really fun. So I have a really quick story I want to share with my husband and I about doing
Go
this.
ahead. I'm going to refill my water while you tell
Yeah. So oh gosh, I can't even remember. I think we'd been married maybe 5 years, something like that. And my husband and I were wanting to build this table I saw on Pinterest. Of course, every woman's dream is Pinterest. And he said, okay, well, let's go, to Lowe's or wherever and get what we need. So we did, and we started. And it was so cold. So like I said, we live here in Indiana, and I don't know, it was like negative 10 or 15 or something outside, and the wind chill was ridiculous. So we set up this little propane heater tank. I know, catastrophe, right? I know all of you are probably like, what in the world is he thinking? My husband's an engineer, so he like knows way better. And I'm out there just, staining and painting, probably getting high as a kite. But we built this damn table with a little propane. It had a little heater attachment, keeping us warm, building this table. Oh my gosh. I look back now and I'm thinking, now I know what's wrong with me. I inhaled way too many stain fumes. But that's how this whole journey started. This year we'll be celebrating 17 years together. So I don't know. I kind of just chuckle a little bit because the things that you start out with and then the things you do after you've been married for so long and you've done so many projects together, you just like, I don't know. It's a cool bond.
hmm
So,
Yeah.
because my husband's
Thank you
like,
for
I need it.
sharing.
I'm like, here you go. He's like, I need. I'm like, here you go. Like, I
That's
just can know, I can anticipate what he's going to need before he even needs it. So,
cool. That's cool.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. It's,
Just make
always,
me that much more jealous. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Sorry. She's out there. I know she's out there.
Yeah. I got all my CNC brothers and sisters. I can't go wrong.
There you
What do we got?
go.
We got a whole long list. We got it. So on our screen for Kate and I, we got our comment section sitting at the side of us, and they come up in bars, and there's that little slider bar that lets you know how many comments are. Mine's sitting in the middle. It's like they're piling up here, and it's holy
I know.
cow.
We need to get back to it. Okay. All right. So, oh, he's talking. Okay. So we've got a little chatter in between. I'm just going to try to kind of skip over some of that. We've got some people from Quebec. Chris is back from Australia. Ralph, he's new. Welcome. Oh, he says it is in Spain. Raymond said looks like Ovidio. Ovidio
Uh,
is in
yeah.
Spain. That's really
Okay.
cool. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome, Spain.
Yeah, we've got Fredericksburg, Virginia, Florida. Brian Rosenbaum, hey friend. He says, yeah, medicine boat races are a fun time and it's a huge event.
Yes. Yep. Jen
Uh,
says Two Moose Design has some good ideas for spoil board stops.
yep.
Yep. I'm gonna actually when I do the I had to get the okay from I'm gonna get ready to work in the Adirondack chair video. I had to get in touch with the person who had the design because I bought the design, right? And I needed to get permission, right? So
Yeah.
you do what you do. I bought permission from him to do this.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and then of
Very cool.
course
So you have the file and
yeah, I've altered the
everything.
file. I changed it. They needed some work and modification and but yeah. But
Well, cool.
he did all the design work. Carolyn said it's
Well,
going to be 117 in Arizona on Sunday.
good
God, that's
Lord.
going to be
I know. Jerry says, Garrett,
terrible. Go ahead.
Would it be okay to post my email here? It's the only way I know to try and link up Jason and Oz and anyone near. Of course. Of course. We're all about
Yeah.
connections here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
for it,
You
brother.
know my email. You know Kate's email. Might as well have yours too.
Yeah, go for it. Whatever y'all need to connect with one another, Facebook, YouTube,
Right.
you just drop your stuff in there. It'll be all right. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys like the smoke from Quebec. Good Lord, these fires are just.
Yeah.
I was just telling my girlfriend the other day, I said, I feel like the world is on fire. Everybody I know right now has some like life-altering crisis that is going on, and it's terrible.
Chris is 40 degrees Fahrenheit there.
I
Where's
don't know.
Chris?
I'm not
Chris
good at
Gallagher.
Fahrenheit. Sorry.
You're not good at Fahrenheit. That's what we live by. You're
Oh,
thinking Celsius.
Yeah, Celsius.
Come on, Kate.
Sorry.
Heaven.
I'm sorry. Okay, y'all know I normally have like my caffeine, and I'm just like, it's been a long day. My brain is going 100 miles an hour. Okay, so Brian asked this question at 8:22. He said, "Are either of you two using Aspire or any knowledge of creating your own 3D models?" I know we've talked about this before. I do not create 3D models. They are way above my pay grade. And I personally, if I were going to have one made, I would hire someone. So,
Yeah.
How about you?
So I have not messed with Aspire. You know, I've done in engineering. I've got really good at SolidWorks Pro E and Autodesk, but never got the Aspire. However, so you know, Kate does one-on-ones, right? And if you're working with Vectric, not at the Aspire level, so Aspire, just so everyone knows, there's the Vectric Cut 2D, there's VCarve, and then there's Aspire. Right. So Cut 2D literally is cutting down multi-levels, right? But it does not do V carving. And V carving's a little different technique. V carve does V carving. That's where you're using V bits, right?
Yep.
Aspire is the 3D modeling. So it has what Cut 2D has, what V carve has, but it has 3D modeling as well. Now, Kate does one-on-ones. There's another person that wants to start doing one-on-ones who does have Aspire. So we're starting to work him into the system.
Very good.
But he's not there yet. So he's still learning Aspire. But what I would also recommend is learnyourcnc.com. Okay. And that is in my most recent videos now. I have a link if you decide to do that. So learnyourcnc.com is put on by Kyle Eli. And he has put an entire course of Vectric together. He treats it as if you don't know anything about it. And that's where he starts along the way. And he explains everything in it. Learnyourcnc.com. And I would ask you to get the link from me, because if you decide to go with this course and buy it, if you buy it through my link, I get enough to buy a burger and a beer. This is how I live, right? So
I feel like that's how every entrepreneur does. You don't have just one source of revenue. You have like 10.
Yeah.
So
how many do I have now?
I was just thinking.
Build multiple
multiple streams. I was thinking about a girlfriend of mine today. I don't know why, but she has a boutique that she runs. And so she does that. And her husband is a real estate agent, and he has that. And then they have 2 condos that they rent out, and they do that. And then, I mean, she just has like all, and then she's a business coach. And so she does that. And it's just like, she has all these, things. And so we're just, entrepreneurs are just lot like roads, just, all roads lead home. I feel like that's where we're all, we all just have 10 things going on.
Yep. But just start with one source of income. Once you got that, then you expand. So I've got probably, I'm guessing 16 sources of income. Some of them are small. Some of them are, $50 a month.
So
it all adds up. All right, Carter. What's the secret to using the surfacing end mill and not getting lines, ridges on the outside of the blades? Ends up with an intense amount of sanding, cutting, walnut, and epoxy. Do you know what's going on there, Kate? You do. I know you do.
Yep. All right, so let me reread here. What's the secret to using your surfacing mills and not getting lines, ridges to the outside of the blade? So what you want to do on this particular thing is, go ahead.
His tram is out.
That's what I was gonna.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's exactly, we must have been like thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, I think your machine is off, because you should not have a lot of sanding. I mean, even when I run my surfacing mills at an 80% step over, I have hardly any sanding. I recently just did a project where I did a 20% step over, and I think I had like 5 minutes of sanding. And that was with epoxy, and it was a beautiful piece of walnut and epoxy. I think I've got it over here on my desk, but yeah, you need to tram your machine, my friend. You've got you're off.
Yeah. So what's happening is
you're unbalanced.
Yep. Let's say this is the bed of your project. Well, it all starts from your spoil board. So we're going to say this is the bed of your spoil board, and this is the axis. The pen is the axis with the surfacing bit is spinning around. I'm going to get your comment out of there a second.
Yeah.
So matter of fact, I'm going to switch over to this for a minute.
Sure.
So the pen is the axis of your bit, and the bit is spinning around like that. Well, what is going on is your machine, the router itself is what they call out of tram. That means the router is not perpendicular to the work surface. Okay, so you have to tram that in. You have to get that squared up. You have to do it both side to side and front to back. And that's one of the first things you need to do. So I would take that project off your table and woo, bounce this right in there.
Hello, welcome to the show. We are live here in our shops tonight.
Well, I'm not in my shop, I'm in the apartment. But anyway,
I know.
What you need to do is you need to get that trammed up. I've got a couple of tramming videos out there.
That's what I was just getting ready to recommend.
Yeah, the one I don't have is using a tramming bar. I actually want to get a tramming bar and get it in there.
That'd be cool.
Yep. So tramming bar is you'll have like a 1/4 inch. You use a dull router bit if you want. You'll take a piece of 2x4 and you'll drill into it a 1/4 inch hole. Put a little slot in it, right to that hole, and then put that a used end mill or even a good end mill in there, and you'll use a screw just to kind of clamp it down. And then the other side, you'll do the same thing underneath. You can use a screw going through it for that matter. Anything to have something there. And what you'll do is you'll chuck that up in your router like that, and then you swing it around, and you can see that point. You want to move it down so it's close to your table. On one side, swing it all the way around, and I guarantee you on the other side it's going to be scraping. And that's telling you that your machine's out of tram like that.
Yeah.
So
very helpful.
Yeah, you have to tram your machine. I've got a couple of videos out there. TRAM.
Okay.
Is the word.
Very good. All right, so let's see. Tim's got a great question at 8:22, right? There you go. Is there a way to check for the latest version on the tool database without downloading the file to look at the file name? For example, a new bit is released and you want to see if it's added to the database yet.
So that's talking to me. Okay, when you download the database is now updated. When you download the database, you follow the video that's in the instructions. It's going to be the same video that you get every time. But if you use that technique, it will never overwrite what's in the database. So it'll just add to it.
It'll never overwrite. It'll just add. I think that's an option within Vectric when you go to add a new tool database. You can actually see it'll say like overwrite or just add new, and you just click the add new.
Yeah.
And then that way everything else will still stay there.
It says merge. Merge, I think is what it is.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Matter of fact,
So,
that's a good point. The Beast is getting released Friday morning. All right. If you get it, you'll want to update your database. It'll
yep,
also be in the phone app.
there you go.
All
That's a
right.
great place to get it too.
Yeah.
So Carolyn asked a great question. I'm sure a lot of you I'm sure in the comments, I haven't gotten all the way down there yet, but she says, where do you get your wood? Me personally, it depends on what kind of project I'm doing. I have some olive wood. I've ordered it from Olive Woods. I think it's olivewood.com. They're on Instagram as well, and they are actually located in Turkey, and they always have free shipping. Beautiful hardwoods, and their customer service is out of this world. It's a husband and wife team that they do it, and they are fabulous. I actually have a local supplier here in Indiana. She actually lives about 10 minutes from my house, which is so amazing. There's some really cool places in Kentucky that that I buy woods from. I mean, it really just depends. I think you said you're in Arizona, so maybe some other people in Arizona can tap in.
Yep.
It really just depends on what you're looking for and what kind of
Yep.
projects.
Yep. Facebook Marketplace. I've found a lot of wood in
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Right. So you just
The
look
thing you
good.
want to be really careful of with Facebook Marketplace is you'll see a ton of wood, because my mom sends me one every time she sees one. And you have to read it and make sure that it's kiln dried if you're going to do it for a project. That's going to be your biggest thing, because if not, it'll just bust. And I mean, you have to seal the ends, and then you want to let it air dry for so long, sometimes years. So if you're really looking to do a project, just make sure that wood is kiln dried. That's all I want to say about that.
Okay.
All right, let's
Yeah.
see.
Then sometimes there'll be small mill owners around. Like we got a mill
Yeah.
owner next town over. I got to go see him because I'm gonna carve that alligator, crocodile swimming through the water.
Yeah, that's going to
Big,
be cool.
big. It's gonna be that
Oh, you're
big.
going to make it big?
Yeah, but I'm gonna do the dragon first.
Oh, yes.
The dragon emblem. That's gonna be big too.
All these
So
big
I'm
ones.
gonna create a video on this right here. And I gotta switch that over first. And then there we go, right there. Like that right there. That's gonna be about 4 feet long. That's a
Lord have
3D.
mercy.
That's a 3D project there.
Where is that
So
going to go?
I'm gonna send that to my mentor. I might make two of them. I might make two. One for me, one for him. I might send them both to him. But I have gained. This is the
That's
thing about
cool.
Yeah, when it comes to mentoring, right? It's I've gotten so much value from my mentor that I want to give
Mhm.
something back.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. Bull
That's really
Shenanigans
cool.
here. Bull's another guy that does one-on-ones. He's got his own Facebook group called The Make.
And any
Oh,
ladies who,
nice.
The Make. So you can always jump on there. Bull is very helpful.
I thought his
And
name sounded really familiar. I just wasn't
yeah,
placing it.
all right. And so Kate does one-on-ones. Bull
You
does
do?
his one-on-ones, right? Kate is
Yeah,
linked above on Facebook, down below in YouTube.
yeah. There's lots of
Bridget.
great teachers out there.
All right, what else I got? Oh, Billy just got his hog bit. Got the
Nice.
hog.
Ellen said, my partner gets in the way. Haha. Yeah. Yep. I make Michael stand over here.
Yeah.
Go over there. Stay away from my machine. Stay away from my baby. Okay, just stand over there.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of talk about the composite nailer.
Yeah, that was a big subject last week.
No, I have not. That hasn't been in my head. I've been in the business end when it comes to. I've been busy for 2 weeks with the beast. Serious, it's been a full time job just on that stinking thing.
You feel like you're just overwhelmed.
Yeah, well, it's about there now. It's now we have we're just getting ready for Friday because 1,000 units, and I expect that I'm almost certain we're going to be sold out by the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right. So if you
Yeah.
want that, you just got to keep watching. Don't email me saying, Garrett, when's going to show up? Probably about 9 o'clock Eastern time on Friday is about when I'm going to do it.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a cool one.
My wife draws the napkin. My wife draws the designs out on napkins and post-it notes, and then I work on getting it out of my wife's creative mind. She says the CNC scares her. Oh,
Yeah.
Steve, you got to tell her to join my group on Facebook, Women Who CNC. She would love it. She would learn lots. We have people that know zero, that don't even have their machines yet, that have had machines for years. We've got some fantastic, fantastic women in that group. So you just send her on over to us and we'll get her going.
Yeah.
We'll get
Yep.
her going.
Get her out of that fear box, right?
Yes. Tim says, since I do not have a planer yet, I use the 1.5-inch IDC Woodcraft surfacing bit a lot. Yes,
A lot.
it's a big bit. When you get it, you're gonna be like, holy crap! Like just look at the 1.5 inch on a ruler, like literally, and then be like, wow, that's how wide that sucker is. It's a big bit.
Yeah, that's yeah. That was one I had redesigned to
Yeah.
get a really smooth finish off of that thing.
Oh, it's like butter, literally butter. All right, so we have a question from Robert at 832. What are the computer requirements to run G-Sender to the long mill? That is for you.
Well, that's for. Do you need to have a Windows base? Well, I think they got it for Mac as well. You go to long mill, type in G-Sender in Google, and it'll come up, and you go, and it'll tell you the requirements there.
There you go.
So as far as I'm concerned, I just need a PC. It's not a heavy program that'll burden your PC. So you can use a 5-year-old machine on it. It'll work just fine.
There you go.
I don't know if it works for Mac, but I think they got a Mac download.
Very nice.
Yep. The best way, Robert, is to go straight to the source in that one. Do a search for G-Sender and then go to that page. It'll tell you.
There you go. All right. So right under Robert, we've got Grant.
Yeah, hi Grant. I haven't seen him in a long time. He was like one of the first timers on the channel too for IDC Woodcraft.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've got an original OG. All right. Hello, everybody. I have Vectric Pro and a Onefinity Woodworker. All my circles have multiple flat sides around the entire circle cutouts. Is this the software or my machine settings?
Using Vectric. Have you seen that before?
All of my circles have multiple flat sides around the entire circle. No. I'm trying to
I've heard of this once before. I would email Vectric on that. I can't think offhand why that would do that. But if anybody knows in here, then certainly drop a comment in there for Grant.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling that out. It was so long ago I heard about that. There's only one time that I've heard that before.
I'm not sure. So on the comment before, Oz says, I've run it from a 13-year-old laptop, probably running software.
Okay,
so because a lot of people have designated computers for their CNC, and so I think he's probably referencing that he's got a 13-year-old laptop, because I feel like a lot of people think they need to have like the most latest and greatest kind of computer to work from, and that's not the case. You just need a computer.
Are you sure seen the piece of shit I was originally running off of?
When I first started, it was like next to my, like over here, and it was like everything I had to like keep it clean. It was awful. I finally just said, I'm done.
Yeah. I think the computer I started off with was before the days of touchscreen.
Oh yeah.
Ancient stuff. But there you go. So Oz is proof for the pudding that you don't need much for G-Sender.
Nope. All right, let's see. Who do we have here? If your computer will run Windows, it will run GSender just fine. Now, I will say, if you are looking to get a new computer or something, I would look for Windows, because actually the couple that I just mentored earlier this week, they had a Mac, and she was struggling with that in Vectric, so they actually bought a Windows computer. I will say I had just upgraded my computer because from a graphic design standpoint, I really like I like to have all of my software downloaded onto my computer. My old computer wouldn't, it was having problems like Inkscape and Vectric, and it was just taking up too much space. And so I like to do all my designing on this, and then I save it to a jump drive and run over there. I just feel like it's easier to do that than trying to like operate two computers. It was kind of a pain in the butt. So,
Right.
yeah. But do you have, you have your main computer, and then don't you have like one for your CNC?
I did, but not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, you have
So
that tool thing, or the.
well, it depends on which machine. So I have the Phantom, which has a pendant, right?
Yes,
and I
that.
have to transfer. But nowadays, my computer mostly stays by the machine anyway. I'm doing most of my business is down either in the shop or back in the little warehouse, which we affectionately call the dungeon. Yeah, so it just kind of stays there. I've got a roll around table now. I have a screen mounted on it, and I can put the computer there, and so I can move it around. So whenever you see me, whenever you see me down in the shop and you keep seeing my doing like that, that's because I'm moving the table.
Okay.
Rolling it around, trying to get it adjusted.
Well, that makes sense. Now we know.
So some people do. Some people have dedicated, and others don't. Yeah, it's up to you. The idea is, if that machine is going to be somewhere, and you need to somehow have your laptop somewhere else, but you're going to be running a machine, then if you're sharing your laptop with your kids or something, who knows? Then you might want to consider it. But you don't need anything powerful by any means. You can buy a $300 computer and it'll run fine.
Yeah. All right. So we have a great question, 837, from Brian. Oh, maybe. I think he's answering Grant's question.
Yeah. So he said, Grant, as your toolpath settings is what it sounds like to him. Are you set for raster or toolpath for that toolpath? Well, so if he's cutting circles, I'm assuming he's following a profile, which is not going to have a raster. But if he's doing pockets, then he'll have a raster. I know where Brian's going with that. So Brian's thinking that he's doing raster cuts and not doing a finishing pass. But I think Grant is actually talking about it's like the
profile.
Yeah, the profile has straight lines. So I'm kind of interested in that, though. Why? I'm going to draw myself a little symbol, a weird circle, kind of, sort of, and then that's my reminder to check that out.
I was like, that is a terrible circle.
Well, Grant's getting terrible circles.
Oh,
that's not a circle. That's a hexagon.
I was going to say that is a very peculiar circle. I think we may need to.
There's my circle.
There we go.
Okay.
Yes. There we go. All right. Let's see.
Our Facebook users giving thumbs up here, whoever that is.
Oh, let's see. What is the best USB cable to use for the controller on the long mill? I have read that some can cause interferences. This is from Robert at 838.
Okay. Robert, 838. Where is it? Okay, we got several 838. So you're asking. So this is a question put out for the technical geniuses, right? I don't know. I don't know this stuff, but I would not say he's wrong, right? So just you could buy a triple shielded NASA approved cable and you'll probably be fine.
Help a brother out, friends. Help a brother out. How about Robert?
Yep, we
Reach
don't
out to
know.
him, give him, tag him and get back with him. All right, let's see. We've got Letterman's Mark at 839, just right under Robert.
Long one covering up all our faces here.
I see that.
Got Stepcraft.
Yeah, do you want to read it?
You can.
Okay, it says, hello, CNC'ers. I've received my Q408 from Stepcraft. Stepcraft, it's a 4x8 machine with a vacuum table. I'm very excited to finally turn it on tomorrow. It's been quite a journey getting my shop set up. I'm a former law enforcement, and I'm all in on trying to be successful with CNC woodworking. I've been joining the Wednesday Night Live conversations for the last 3 months, and it's extremely helpful information. Thank you, Garrett, for all the YouTube videos you have created for CNC'ers. Well, that is so nice.
And that means that he has caught some of the mentoring that we're going.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations on getting your shop set up and additionally turning on your machine.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, tomorrow. You need to send me an email tomorrow. Say, guess what, Garrett? I turn my Stepcraft on for the first time, and I'll be back there doing the happy dance.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna turn it on. You need to join the Facebook group, the CNC for Entrepreneurs, and post your first carve so we all can.
I actually want to see a picture of the machine because I didn't. Stepcraft, a 4x8 machine. That's must be a recent addition to their line.
That's a big
because their biggest machine was the M100, the MM1000, something like that. And it wasn't nearly that big. So they've come up with a much bigger machine. I would love to see. So CNC Entrepreneurs, join that and post a picture of that and tag IDC Woodcraft. Or
there you go.
This picture's for IDC Woodcraft, and you'll see it pop up in CNC Entrepreneurs. I want to see the machine. Excited.
There you go. So Grant is commenting back. He says, it's just when I use an end mill to cut a circle. I can't imagine what on earth. I have to sand the bumps off. Is he talking about the witness marks? Is that what he's thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. What's the machine you have, Grant?
I don't know.
Let's find out what machine you have.
Oh, there's Chris. He's popped in. He says, get a shielded cable with a ferrite core.
Ferrite core. Right? Yep. See, NASA. This is rocket science. That's why we needed somebody like Chris.
I know. Y'all know. Y'all know.
All right. There. Shielded cable with a ferrite core.
Oh my goodness.
Kryptonite core, whatever that is. It's
Kryptonite core. What is this, Superman? I got Superman cables. We got some kryptonite going on. All right. Tim, you are.
Oh, I just thought of this. So I've had that on my wall for quite some time. Right?
Yes, I do.
Many creators.
That's been there since a long time.
Yeah.
Since I've known you.
Well, since I got into the Dragon 100 and I created that Dragon of the Year, there's they have an award that they put out.
It's very cool.
And so it says 2022, but I've been nominated for that award.
That's very cool. Congratulations.
One of
That's
5
awesome.
Nominations. Right.
Yay! We get to celebrate with you now.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the power of goals and actually making things real, right? So that's one. And then there's also different levels with Dragon 100. So we all are called dragons, right? We all call each other dragons. Arr, but we don't do that anyway. So if you have a business that's 100K to $1 million, you're in a red dragon, right? And if you have a business that's from 1 million to 10 million, you're black dragon, right? And if you above 10 million, then you're dragon infinity, right? So when I joined this, I made not only that, but I made this to become, black dragon, right?
Wow.
So, and this has been hanging on my wall.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so that is now happening, right? That will be announced within that community. It's an entrepreneur's community. It's very difficult to get into.
I'm sure.
But so
Those are fantastic.
yeah.
Congratulations.
So the idea is you got to create, you got to put it in your environment, the things that you want. Right.
Yeah.
That's why I told you the money you want to make, how much money you want to make, you got to write it in big letters and put it where you see it all the time. Sometimes we feel stupid. You know, if I want to make $15,000 a month doing CNC, that doesn't feel real. Who gives a shit? Put it up on the wall anyway.
Make yourself a big 15K and just
Yeah,
like
big one.
put it up on your shop
and
wall.
design it and carve it out and put it there. And everybody's gonna say, "What are you being crazy?" No, I'm dreaming big, and
It's
you aren't
for
gonna
me.
step. And you aren't gonna step on it. Whatever. You own your own dreams. People will steal them away from you if they can. But
They will.
yeah.
Haters
Yeah.
gonna hate.
Well,
So,
some people, everybody wants you to win, but many people are afraid to see you leave, right? Because if you want to win, if you, like I said in the beginning, if you want something you've never had, you have to become somebody you've never been.
Yep.
That means you have to leave the person that you have been, and people are uncomfortable with that change.
Step forward.
Yeah, because you
step
change
out of
as
the
a person.
comfortable.
You change as a person. You have to start saying no to them and say yes to me, yes to you.
Got to take a chance on yourself. All
There's another
right.
thing. Yeah, before we go on, there's another things, right? You can't. I already said it. You have to take a risk. You cannot get ahead without taking a risk, and you will not get ahead if you don't fail.
Oh God.
Failure is an absolute necessary part of success.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely have to fail, fumble, trip over yourself, dust yourself off, fall down, face plant, you name it.
Yeah, I heard somebody say,
you're going to do
if
it
you want to
all.
get good, if you want to get good at something, you have to start off being really bad at it first.
Amen. Oh my word. Amen. Whew. Yeah, that's so true in like every aspect of life. All right, let's see. We've got a hello from Trailblazer Woodworks. Hi, Nick. Welcome. It's okay. Jerry Bradley, I think he's talking to. So it says, "Hey, Ralph." Okay.
Yep. So Jerry's telling Ralph he got this MK2 thanks to me. Okay, another feather in my hat. That's
very nice. Very nice. All right. So we also have Joshua Johnson. Might have to go refill my wine too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. There we go. Let's see. Oh, Robert said I just received my mill on Monday in the process of building my table.
All right.
Yes.
Tons of new people here tonight.
Yeah.
This is so
awesome.
Cool. People are just getting into it.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Joshua says he got my business cards in today. Now to go work on the website.
Excellent.
See, this is what it's all about right here. It's business. It's CNC. It's all the things. It's learning the software. Everybody just has to all together now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got to do it.
We just got to do it.
It's one step at a time, right? It's what someone said, infinite patience. Know you're going to be there. Get in your head and just have infinite patience. So what that means is you'll always stay calm and just make steps forward. And one day you're going, wait a minute, how the hell do I get here? I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I were just talking about that the other day. I was like, I don't remember what we were talking about. I don't know if we were talking about 3D models or what, but I was like, do you remember when I first reached out to you? I was like, so new. Like I knew nothing a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. And it's like, now here we are on this live every Wednesday teaching other people how to CNC. And like you were saying, 2 years ago, you had like in your living room, you had a Bob CNC with all your bits on the window ledge. Now you have like this warehouse and, you're hiring for people and my goodness.
I was learning how to CNC too. I knew it from the metalworking world, but woodworking was different, right? I had to learn it all over again in a way. I just knew it.
Yeah.
I just like all my CNC, I knew how to run the machine. It's like, oh man, I can teach this.
Baby step, friends, baby steps. You will get
Yeah.
there, we promise. Just keep at it.
John Tough. Oh, John?
Miss somebody. Oh.
Jack is going to make sure not to go to Arizona because it's going to be too hot.
We've got Dirk Horn from Switzerland. Wow, that's cool. I think we had someone on here from last week from Switzerland. I'm wondering if that's Dirk again. Oh, there you go. Best bit for carving in birch ply. Autumn. So the biggest trick, I do a lot of carving with birch ply for my DIY sign kits. The trick with carving in birch ply is to not go too deep because obviously it is a pressed plywood, so you will go through, and if there's any if the pieces aren't exactly flush and they have basically like pits in them, you'll carve into that. So I really like to, you can use a 60-degree V-bit, but personally I really like a 90 because you're going to get a nice clean cut. You don't have to go too deep into the wood, and you can still get quite a bit of detail. So that's
when you're making the signs. So Kate's talking about when you're V carving. Cutout, what do you use for cutout?
If you're cutting out birch ply, I usually use my end mills. Like if I'm doing a profile, like all the way around, I wouldn't suggest doing any type of a deep carve in a birch plywood. Birch wood, very different. Birch plywood is a pressed plywood, and so you don't want to do anything like that. Now it is great, like if you want to cut out circles or squares or something like that. They have the edge banding that you can buy at like Lowe's or Home Depot, and it's basically got glue and it just has to be heated up, and you can put that around your signs for a more finished look, and you can stain it as well. So that's something that you could do.
Yep. If you do cutouts, then you would want to use compression on those.
Yeah.
Because the ply you can get very easy tear out with that.
Yeah. The back side, well, yes, I'm sorry. You should use a compression bit because that compression has the up cutting and the down cutting action. So you're going to get smooth edges on both sides versus just using the down cut bit where you're going to have that fraying on the back side, because birch is notorious for shredding on the back side. So you'll get like all those little splinters on the back and it just looks really kind of
Yeah.
So
compression bit. If you don't know what that is, let's go to the website now. I'll show you real quick.
Yeah.
Click that and we'll go there. So let's go to straight bits. Let's see, where are my straight bits? Oh, come on. That's just that little quick thing. Let's go to the homepage. It's not good when I'm looking at my own website going, wait a minute, where are we going here? Okay, compression bit is there's compression right here. You see how it's got that kind of funky little hook there? That's an upcut end on the compression bit. Right.
And trust me, you won't mistake that for an end mill when you go to put it in. You'll know.
Yeah. So let's see what kind of picture. I'll probably have to replace these pictures. It's not. Yeah, I need to make good pictures for that.
Add to the to-do list.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. He says I had to convert 4 Celsius to Fahrenheit for you, Kate. Thank you, Chris. You're so sweet.
Nice.
All right, Lyle. He says he finished his puzzle toy for his great-granddaughter's first birthday last week. She liked it. Pattern for Etsy. Awesome.
Hey.
Lyle, if I remember correctly, I think it was either 2 or 3 Wednesdays ago, you asked about maybe doing projects for a children's hospital, if I'm not mistaken, about different type projects. And I know we talked about recommending different products for them, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not, I'm pretty sure I remember that. So I'm glad that she loved her puzzle. Yay.
Yep. Jared has smoke as well. We all have the smoke right now.
It's
They're
terrible.
all getting it, except for Arizona, which just has the heat.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm really bummed. I mean, obviously, I'm bummed because there's fires everywhere. But the 4th of July is coming up, and we're supposed to, we're hosting a huge 4th of July party with all of our family here at our house. We're supposed to be outside, you know, having a barbecue, and everybody's going to be swimming and hanging out. And if this smoke is so bad, my husband said it's supposed to last for another couple weeks. And I'm like, oh gosh. They canceled all soccer practices, all things tonight because of the heat index and the poor air quality. So
Hmm.
I'm a little nervous to see how that's going to work out.
Yeah. Is there supposed to be rain on Saturday?
I don't know. I saw like a 50% chance of rain for the next few days. So I don't know.
I see this from time to time too. George made a plaque for one of his customers where her friend was killed a couple months ago in a speedboat race in Texas.
Oh,
All right.
that's awful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, George.
That's yeah. But at least we've got something we can create something to make for
Yeah.
other people, just to make that moment.
Yeah. Very commemorative.
Little aisle. And it should be coming out.
The Makita on the first try.
What?
Ooh, I think this is a good opportunity for you to talk about how to check your bits.
Yeah. What was he carving? Oh, he was doing the puzzle. All right. So, excuse me. So when you're chalking up on your router bits, I don't have my bits with me here because I've moved upstairs for the night. But
Do you want me to
there
grab
are
one?
some. Well, there's rules of thumb. You can grab one. There's rules of thumb behind it. Number one is
Oh,
always, every time you change a bit, always clean out your collet from the sawdust. Right? You get a toothbrush, clean out the nut, and then make sure you blow out the collet itself. And you want to run your finger up inside the shaft there to get any sawdust out of there, because sawdust, when it gets in between the bit and the
call it.
collet, you know, it actually allows it to slip over time. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the one thing. Number two is the tightness. You don't want to, when you tighten a bit down, you don't want to, like if you're using a Makita router, you got the two wrenches. First of all, use the two wrenches, please. Don't use the red button and try to torque it really tight,
Oh God, no! Please don't
because
do that.
you're going to crack the housing.
Yeah.
Makita says you can use the red button. Don't just use the two wrenches. And what you do is you pull it until it stops, and then you give a little extra tug. You'll pull it till it stops. You feel it actually grab that bit.
Yeah.
And then you give a little extra squeeze, and that's plenty. If you over time have been torquing it really super tight, you've worn out your collet, and you're going to start slipping all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But this is where on the bit what Garrett is talking about, you can see. So basically, where the piece stops here at the very top of the spin, or at the carve of the bit where it starts to turn inwards. So like what he was saying, this is a 1/4 inch bit, so you'd want to be at least a 1/4 of an inch with your collet. You'd want to have the bit chucked up in here. You don't want to just, you know, have the bit and the collet hanging here just at the very top. You need to really you need to have the bit chucked up into the collet, so it's safe, and it has
it needs to be in the collet.
yes, not just, you know, a little tiny bit. You need to all the way. Yeah.
Let's see if we can.
You want to be safe.
Let's see if we can come in.
And I think you just recently released a video on that about the safety of that.
Yep, how to chuck up your router bits. So this is, I can't get a big enough picture here to show this, but another thing is, okay, so what Kate was just saying was you got the grind in the flute, right? So the flute of the bit is the actual void going up like in front of your cutting area, right? It's not the actual cutting blade. The flute is the actual dip down in the cut, right? But that flute grind comes up and it runs off the end of the bit, right up in here. And then you want to chuck, if it's a 1/4 inch bit, you want to chuck a 1/4 inch up from the end of that, but you never want to chuck onto any of those grind angles. That'll wear out. That'll break your bit.
Yeah.
So
Something else for beginners that I want to share a little story. So I was making a bowl one day. It was one of my first bowls that I ever made. I think I was maybe 4 or 5 months into my CNC journey, and I'm like, yeah, I got this. Because I looked at the bit length and it said 2 inches, but what I did not account for was the fact that having the bit chucked up, and I'm like, oh, I can just keep pulling it out and extending it out, and I'll get the most so I can achieve the depth that I want. Wrong.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And don't try to extend the bit. That's why Garrett makes the extended bits. So please just use those. And then also do not try to make your, the bit go all the way down to where the Makita is almost, I'm running on the inside of the bowl. So it's like the collet and the nut, like you're trying to play Russian roulette with your Makita and your bits is just not a good idea. Okay, I'm just going to say that for a fact. Because it screwed up the whole project and I was really devastated. But be aware of the length of the bit, be aware of the depth of the project, and make sure you adjust accordingly is what I'm trying to say.
All right. Yep. Oz made a point too. Make sure there's no oil in the bit.
Yes.
Your bits need to be dry. When you get bits, I'm actually going to put an instruction card together. When you get new bits, you always want to clean them. Particularly the wide body bits that I have, they all have oil on them. They all have oil when you get them. Right. I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't want to touch that. Even me, it's like, I kind of hate this oil, but it's there to protect the bit.
I got all this crap all over my hands.
Yeah. And then Jack said, what he said, tram spindle, probably?
Probably. That's slang for probably.
Yeah. Okay, out of tram. Would that cause that to pull? I don't know. What else we got? Use rubbing alcohol for cleaning. There, I said.
Yep, Mark's asking how the community's doing. He's saying he's received his M&Ms and the hog.
Yeah. You
and many more bits.
Yes, you always get bits. You always get bits with your M&M order from IDC Woodcraft.
Maybe I need to switch over to M&Ms. Maybe I might sell more things. I go with Tootsie Rolls. I throw a handful of Tootsie Rolls.
Well, let's take a vote. Let's vote. I want to see it in the comments. M&Ms or Tootsie Rolls?
Yeah, I don't know. M&Ms are pretty popular.
Yeah, we're at 9:32, so we're going to knock off shortly. So let's handle some more of these.
Anyone's?
Yeah, Jared, your collet may be getting worn out.
Yeah, that
They
very
do
well
wear
could
out.
be too. Chris, oh wait, we've got Brian here. Question related to tram. Do you need to surface Y then X or just one or the other prior to checking tram with a tram arm and indicator?
Okay, I would always tram. I would use the arm first, the bar, to get a general tram. Mm-hmm. So when you start with your machine, your spoil board, that roll MDF can be all over the place, and it can be tilted away up like that. It can be wavy like that. Get a general tram first. Go in and surface it. Just skim surface. It doesn't matter which way you do it. All right. What I like to do is when I surface, when I'm seriously doing the surfacing, I will go 4 different directions. I'll go X all the way across. I'll go Y all the way across. I'll go diagonally that way all the way across. And I'll go diagonally that way all the way across. That's overkill, but the damn thing's flat.
Okay, let's see.
Did I answer his question?
Yeah, there's several comments in there. So Brian, check out those comments in there. Jen At 9 o'clock, she said, "What is the best way to clean your bits? I use alcohol wipes after every run, hoping this is okay." I think I posted in the group about this, Jen. I have a bit cleaner I use from Woodcraft. I can't remember what the name of the darn stuff is. Oh, I don't know where it went. My
Does
shop's
rubbing
a hot
alcohol work?
mess.
Right?
What's that?
Rubbing alcohol?
Yeah, rubbing alcohol.
Anything
Baby
will break
wipes.
down oil. I use Dawn.
Yeah.
I just use dish soap. Breaks
Oh,
it down
you know how
really
many
nice.
dishes I wash? I don't think I want to wash my bits too. I'd be pulling my hair out. Okay. I think I just talked about this too. I talked about this on my 101. To Garrett, if you draw a straight line in a project, can you just router it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a profile cut.
So I think he just means like a single, like if you were just to draw like a pin, like a straight line.
Yeah. I can demo it real quick. Here we go here.
All right, well, go ahead.
Yeah, can you see it? Can you see
Yep.
my Vectric? Okay.
Yep.
So there's a straight line. It's a straight line. Now can I route it? Oops. Darn it. I hate when I hit that. I wish I'd get that question mark away from that.
I know. I hit it all the time, and I'm like, God bless America.
So we'll use the profile toolpath. Grab that. It's selected to on right in this area right here, which is what you want for a straight line. It'll never know what to do if you pick any of these two there. And we will just go 1/2 inch to 0.5. I'm going to select that. What's the bit that I have? Oh, I got the beast picked over here. Woohoo! Which is going to be released Friday morning. All right.
Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Friday morning.
Friday morning. And run the toolpath. And there it is. Cut a straight line.
Do.
I hope that answered that question.
There you go. Brian says, will the 1.5 inch bit work with the Makita routers? Would just a 1/4 inch call it? Yes. Because
Kate's used it. We'll talk from her experience.
Yes. Sorry, my brain is like the router, the bit, my apologies, still has a 1/4 inch shank, so you will be just fine with the Makita router. I've used all of the bits in my Makita router on my Onefinity, and I've had 0 problems. So I've been able to use them all. So.
All right, let's knock out a couple more off. But before we do, just want to remind everyone, number one, the Beast is getting released Friday about 9 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to set the inventory from 0 to 100. CNC Insiders, those who are on the CNC Insiders email list. I've emailed you several times. If you are not on that list, right, then you need to get on it, and you will have a 15% off discount code. That code will be good for 4 days. But that code's not going to be worthless after the end of Friday because I'm going to be sold out, right?
Now, why don't you tell them where to sign up for the CNC Insiders?
Oh, CNC Insiders. So you're in Facebook. There's the description up above. You click the more button. It'll open up. There's a bunch of links there, and you'll see the CNC Insiders. If you're on YouTube, just below this video, there's like the thumbs up button and the thumbs down button. By the way, take a minute to push the thumbs up button while you're there. Even Facebook or YouTube, right? But below that, there will be a sentence, part of a sentence, and then you'll see the word more. Click that word more, and something will open up, a short description. And at the end of that short description, there'll be another word more. Click the word more, and everything will open up, and there'll be a link that says Join CNC Insiders. You will get an email Friday morning about 9 o'clock Eastern time, and that's going to tell you that the Beast inventory has been set from 0 to 1,000, and you will have your discount code.
Yep.
All right, your 15% off.
Go do it.
Code. Yep. One-on-one. If you are struggling with Vectric, Kate, our sister CNC'er, will do one-on-ones with you. You can schedule an hour with her. Links.
Yep.
Everything I'm sharing with you right now is in these descriptions, so you can schedule.
Yes.
Right. Sign up to her YouTube channel. It's Riseandshinediywoodsigns. And
Yes,
if you're a
please.
lady, if you're a woman who's getting in the CNC world, like Bridget and Jen and
Carolyn.
Carolyn,
Yep.
CNC, women who CNC,
You got it.
right?
We've got some
Women's,
exciting stuff getting ready to come down the pipeline. So go join
cool.
it. You don't want to miss it.
Women's only group.
Yep. All right. Let's see. So I want to make sure. Oh my goodness, we still have so many.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. So
We're
Steve had
scrolling through comments.
Steve at 9:04. He had a couple good suggestion for maybe Grant that was having the problems. He says if you look at the file in node mode, you may find that there are small flats. That's a great idea.
Yep. Excuse me. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Look at the nodes. So the way you look at nodes, you select the object and then hit the letter N on the keyboard and the nodes will show up.
Yes.
And if you have black nodes, you're going to have straight lines between each one.
Yep. Yep. All right.
But he said it's happening on this machine. Grant never said what machine he has. Oh, yes, I didn't say it.
Oh, Dan's here. Welcome, Dan. Welcome.
Dan?
Yeah. Hey, Dan/Don. Thought I would pick at you first. Oh, well, here you beat us to it tonight. Madra says, I run 2 computers. Yeah. There's some great comments in here. I hope you guys take a minute to read everybody else's comments.
Grant's got a Infinity, by the way.
Oh,
so if you're getting it, just wanted to make sure you didn't have a machine that couldn't handle it. So something's going on in his design.
Where are you? What time?
There's a 9:12.
I must have missed that.
9:12. What? Way behind. That's 9:40. I'm just looking at 9:12. All right, we're gonna knock out a couple more, and then we have to knock off because Kate and I both have lives.
Yeah.
No smoke in Florida.
New Jersey in the house.
Oh, Eric said, I got to point this out.
Eric, now, Kate, you razzed me all last week for still having one Finity in the box. Now it's all baby step and preparation. Yes.
Yep. Eric,
cheers.
It takes a woman to put you down, man. You got to.
Oh, no, yes, I'm so excited that you got it out of the box. Baby steps, man, baby steps. Oh, that's awesome. All right, I see Jared at 9:23. He's talking to Jack. He says, my wife doesn't exactly support the CNC, but she will once I prove what I can do with it. And that's not just a time killer or a reason to be in the garage.
Just make something that's going to make her go. What? Make something for her. Kate, you're a woman. Talk to the man.
Yep. You got to find something that she loves, that she wants. I'm telling you, though, it's going to be a slippery slope. Just telling you right now, it's going to be a slippery slope because I have all the things. My daughter came to me the other day. She's like, Mom, can you make me an iPad stand? I'm like, sure. And my husband's like, hey, what if you make this? And can you make that? And my mother-in-law said, oh, I found this on Pinterest. I want you to make this for my, it's for my brother-in-law for Christmas. I'm like, yep. And then she's going to tell her sister, and then her sister's going to want a stove cover, and then her sister's going to want something. And then you're going to be in business. So I'm just telling you, as a business woman to businessman, don't sell yourself short. Make sure if you want to give your time away, that's your choice. But at least make them pay for the product because you don't want to go bankrupt just doing favors for everybody because that's not how business is done. So take care of yourself on that end. Make sure you at least get material money.
Right. Someone says, any plans for an extended bit for foam?
No, but I will start working on. I'm always adding, right? I add based on what the market is interested in next.
Yeah, that's
I
always
have
neat.
gotten questions for foam, but foam, I've just never played with foam. Oh, votes are starting to come in.
I see that.
Dion says M&Ms, M&Ms and Tootsies. M&Ms,
M&M.
M&Ms, M&Ms. See, here's your problem, Kate. You're screwing with the wrong candy, sister.
I know what. That's what I'm discovering. Oh, Jerry says the ink pens you send with the bits are great too. You know, I had to chuckle when I first got my very first bits and I got that pen. I was like, this is so fun. Like, how cute is this? I love this. Oh my gosh.
You get the
All
IDC
right.
Woodcraft
M&Ms.
pens.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, my mug broke. It's a twist lid. Oh gosh, I'm
Oh.
guessing you tried to pop it off. Ooh.
Send me an email. We'll send you another one.
Oh, there you go. That's
You can't
sweet.
have a broken mug. Got to have your coffee.
I know. Oh, gotta have coffee. Somebody said Simple Green for cleaning your bits. Yes, I love Simple Green. It's fantastic. Simple Green is actually great for laser work as well. That's where that was coming in. I knew it was coming in somewhere. The absolute chords and the relative. I use it all the time in light burn. That's where I'm like, I can't place it. But yeah,
What?
if you do in light burn, when you do relative chords and absolute chords, it's where you're centering off your zero off of whether it's in the project or it's off the corner or the material or whatever. That's why I was like, I know what you're talking about. I just can't place it in my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah. Absolute is from your 0 points. Relative
Yeah.
is from where it's from some of the reference point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, I think we have one great question we can probably wrap up with. I think this is a new gentleman. It's Bruce at 939. In cutting a stacked text, is there a way to stop cutting attention in the air on the top text?
We're trying to figure out what this question is trying to ask.
Yeah, I think I might have
Cutting
jumped in.
stack text. Okay, so we're talking about
Is there a
maybe
way
air
to stop
cuts.
cutting
Cutting attention the air on top text. Bruce, put your
Maybe
question
he's
in
trying to
again.
do like the bottom text? I'm not sure.
Rephrase the question, Bruce.
Oh, we got Pop Pop's workshop on here. I love your
Hey.
stuff. He's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
guys.
I've watched him too. We're
Yeah,
at the
he does
end.
some
So
great stuff.
Bruce, we're waiting for you. Waiting for your what did Jared? He already made her something. She liked it.
I can at least save money from her going to Hobby Lobby. You know what? I'm not going to lie. You're probably very true because every time I go into that darn store, I look at stuff and I take a picture. That's going to be your new problem. Is she's going to go to Hobby Lobby and then she's going to take like 9 million pictures and be like, I want you to make me these things. And then you're going to be like, okay.
So then you say, honey,
That's
give me
what
a
I do.
priority list. Give me a priority list. What do you want first? All right.
Yes.
Then when she pops in with something else next week, you say, okay, here's the list that you gave me. Do we need to reprioritize? Because I'm this close to that one.
That's what I do. I have such a hard time when I go to places like that because I'm like, oh, I could make that. I could make that. So, well, I'm not sure if his question was out there. I'm sorry we missed your question. Maybe we will catch you next week.
Come on next Wednesday, 8:00, and then we will then bring that question out early.
You got it.
So Kate and I are gonna boogie skedaddle. Remember, links above, links below. Oh, Bruce just put it in there.
Oh.
Top text on the top text. Is there any way to stop cutting the air at the edge? So he's getting air cuts out of it. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to.
I'm thinking.
I'm not picturing air cuts on this. The only thing I'm figuring is maybe the Z is not set properly, or
I'm trying to think.
He's duplicated the tool path.
Yeah, I was thinking either he duplicated the toolpath or maybe he's. Do you have two separate toolpaths? So do you have it like an eighth or like a 1/4 inch bit, and then you're going down to like an 1/8 inch, and you're trying to get, smaller? I'm not sure. I wouldn't think so.
Might be using separate tool paths to do both. Right.
That's what.
Instead putting both of the tools in the same tool path. Bring that up next week, and Kate and I we're getting what we think might be going on. So next week we can talk about it. We do have to get out of here. We are tired.
Yes.
So everyone, all our CNC brothers and sisters, thank you for hanging out all this time.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And
all right, guys.